stopped from taking part in the activity you found so mesmerizing you couldn't take your mind off it? How many of these occurrences were denied by your immediate family or other people who can influence your decisions? Now think about how many of these times have you been told that you need to get your head out of the clouds, stop chopping and changing, and set a clear goal instead. I myself, luckily, have never been told and lectured because of constantly jumping from one activity to another. And I would have never thought that it is a thing that people try to prevent from happening, if not something I heard a mother say to her 12-year-old son while eating at the bus stop. So the kid had been going about free Spanish lessons his school was providing, and in the end, he asked his mother if she agreed to let him enroll in the class. The mother almost immediately rejected his wish, saying that it's only a waste of time, and this temporary passion would fade out, and he would drop out of the course just like he did with basketball. The boy tried reasoning with his mother, saying that he did that because he thought that basketball was not for him, and he aims to find something he likes and wants to perfect. The mother cut it with a strong no. I could not bear watching the child getting his dream crushed. I realized how often children cannot pursue their dreams because parents or friends oppose, thinking that the child won't be able to keep up or won't continue taking part in the activity. From that day, I started paying attention to how often each of us refrains from doing something that we want because of the old day belief that the only thing we have to concentrate on is our main goal. There cannot be any distractions. But what if one has yet to decide what they want to do with their life? How does one find something tailored for them? The only answer is trying everything out. I myself was completely lost and had no idea what I wanted to do in my life until recently, when I started reflecting on my past activities, how I feel doing one activity or the other, what kind of emotions they evoke in me, and can I actually see myself doing the same thing every day, perhaps for the rest of my life. So I started my long self-discovery journey with sports. Throughout my life, I have tried many different kinds, and there are some that have a soft spot in my heart, and some that I would rather never do again. So let me start with karate. I believe many of you think that karate moves are super cool, kicking, punching, or throwing somebody over a shoulder. I thought so too. Additionally, at that time, the newly released movie called Karate Kid caused insanely huge interest in this sport among children. I was no exception. So I decided to give it a try. I tried my best. Can I say that? I dropped that activity after the first week of training. I just felt like it's not for me. So I moved on, and about 1 month later, I started going to competitive swimming classes. For as long as I could remember, I always liked swimming and playing in water, so it seemed like a logical decision. This time it lasted for more than a year, and everything was perfect. But then, one day, something in my head just switched, and I realized I didn't want to see swimming as a competition. I wanted it to be my way of relaxing, not pushing myself to get better than others. So I quit it and enrolled in ballroom dance. For a 9-year-old girl, that seemed like a scene from a Disney movie. Fancy dresses, inspiring music, and sparkles everywhere. But because of my previous sports activities, I was a bit too bulky. In fact, I looked like a tiny Hulk. I didn't complain. But because of that, the instructor had way too many complaints, and I did not dance gracefully. So after training for 3 years, I decided that it was not my cup of tea. After all, I wasn't as elegant as a swan. I was more of an elephant. So these are only a few sport activities that I have tried throughout my life. But the influence they had on me was tremendous. They let me realize that sport isn't a thing I want to do for a living. So I started going to music school. So it was a bit of a trend at that time to learn music. but I really liked it. I learned how to play piano, music theory, sang in a choir, and all the casual stuff. I participated in so many competitions and I won so many prizes that I really thought that I had finally found something that was only for me. But when I had to choose whether to pursue music or concentrate on studying in order to pass entrance exams to the school of my dreams, I didn't even bat an eye when taking the decision. I chose to study. That is how I realized music wasn't of key importance to me. So having quit the music school, I narrowed my list down. I was certain if there's something for me, I'll find it in the academic field. Now a bit of a backstory here. Since a young age, I was very interested in chemistry, and I do remember exactly when and how my passion started. So one day when I was visiting my father's workplace, he's a chemist, by the way, I noticed this amazing human invention called periodic table. It was breathtaking. My father noticed my interest and he gave me it. And it was my very first periodic table. And I still have it. And I treasure it. You know, being a 5-year-old at that time, there wasn't a lot I understood about it except the word table. And that was enough. That was enough to plant a seed in my mind. The seed stayed there, hidden for more than 9 years. And only in 8th grade, when I started learning chemistry, it sprouted. Or rather, exploded. It exploded with so much power that in an instant I knew this was what I had been longing for. Something that completes me. Something that I would stay awake all night for. I was fired up. I was ready to give it my all, my passion, my time, my everything, and I did. And then, slowly, like before, I noticed that biology is a part of me, just like chemistry is. I realized I would have never found that side of me if not countless experiences of failure. I mean, I could have given up trying to find something new and kept doing things I was already good at. But just like Master Shifu said, if you only do what you can, you will never be more than you are now. And now I'm confident. I know what I want to do in my life. I want to immerse into chemistry and biology deeper. But I won't stop here. I will keep doing what I had been doing all my life. I will try new things out. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm giving you my speech. And yes, of course, I'll have to choose a career path sooner or later. But until then, I must be looking. Because everything can change in the blink of an eye. Because, you know, you have to must looking. You have to take every challenge that comes your way. Because you want to be more than you are now. That is why I want us, the new generation, to change this old day belief that as long as an individual stays on the same track, on the same activity, they will be successful. That is absolute nonsense. In order to be successful, one has to face hardships, failures, and try countless of possibilities of things. Just like one American politician and lawyer said, Robert Kennedy in fact, said, if only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Therefore, never stop believing, improving, following your heart, and seeking for your passion. In other words, go and try everything out. Thank you.